Welcome to this episode of In the Garage with our auto reviews. Now, if you recognize the cars behind me, they're from our WRS racing episode we did for the main show. But this week, we're going to be reviewing the 2014 Acura MDX, all new for 2014. Why are we inside? Because a lot of people don't realize I do live in the Pacific Northwest, and normally it's raining for about the next 3 months. It is mid-November, so what we'll do is we'll jump back inside and take a peek at that MDX. Let's start with some mechanics. Gone is a 3.7 from last generation's MDX. Inserted is a 3.5 liter direct injected unit, also used in the RDX. This new 3.5 liter direct injected V6 does produce 290 horsepower and 267 foot-pounds of torque. It is backed by a 6-speed automatic transmission and is a front-wheel drive vehicle by standard, though is available, as tested, with the super handling all-wheel drive package. It does have a rating at 18 to 27 for miles per gallon with an overall fuel economy rating of 21 miles per gallon. 0 to 60 times or 7 seconds. Suspending the SH all-wheel drive or super handling system is a front McPherson strut and rear multi-link suspension system, integrated dynamic system or IDS, which changes both steering input and suspension controls along with throttle response. Now, starting with the rear cargo area, obviously you have a power rear hatch, which is great for getting your groceries inside, which is about all the space you have. Because of the 7-seat passenger arrangement, it is pretty small back here and there's not a lot of room for cargo. They were nice enough to give you a power outlet for 110 power. Well, let's talk about where passengers go, because that's what counts. All right, one of the things that manufacturers don't always do right is making it easy to get into that third row. Acura did their homework and made it a one-touch system to load up to get in the back. And it's that simple. Now that I'm in the back seat, I fold this down and put the middle row back into the passenger position. You can see that this is probably best reserved for the kids or friends of the kids on a road trip. As for me, I wouldn't want to get stuck back here too long. Now that I'm in the middle row, Acura did some great homework on adding those little extras that make it comfortable for your passengers. A sunshade, the ability to recline the middle seat, and of course the center console does have the controls for heating and air conditioning, and including a great media system. All right, keeping everyone happy in the back seat starts with this 16.5-inch ultra-wide screen that comes with a remote and headphones, also the ability to plug in a game system. And if they're cold, don't worry, the rear seats are also heated. Moving to the driver's compartment of this MDX, you first start with the controls that are on the door panel, windows and mirrors and your regular controls. Then you move to the multifunction steering wheel. You then have your controls for your audio on the left, cruise control on the right. Then you move to the twin screens, one for navigation, other for things like your satellite radio or your connectivity and the ESL sound. Below that, the slot for your DVD and that rear player. And then it moves to one of the best center consoles I've ever seen. The ability to make it so you can not only have a place to put your phone outside, but multi-tiers for all your little goodies and trinkets and trash that end up following you along from place to place. Now that we're on the road, one of the things I also want to mention is the IDS, or Integrated Dynamic System. We mentioned it before, but once we're on the road, you really do feel a difference in the way that the car feels or gives that feedback to you, whether it's comfort, normal, or sport. Now, I obviously put it on sport because I want a little more feeling in the steering wheel and I like a little more throttle control. You add that to putting the automatic transmission into its sport mode, and it really does give a sporty feel when you're driving this car. But don't worry, it's not all about sport. If you put this in the comfort mode, you can cruise along and have a very comfortable ride. And comfort is something that you'll certainly enjoy once you put the IDS into the comfort mode. It really does soften up the suspension and gives the steering a nice light feel. Cruising down the freeway is something that I could certainly do road trips in, no problem, in the 2014 MDX. One of the things I certainly want to make mention of is the maneuverability of this semi-large SUV. When you look at the perimeter sensors and the excellent rear backup camera, it makes parking an SUV this size very, very simple. And one of those cameras that you can just trust being able to park right where you want to be. That's going to wrap up our review of the 2014 Acura MDX. If you want more information, go to Acura.com. As for us, make sure and go to InTheGarageWithDennis.com. Check out our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages. And until the next review, we'll see you soon. Yes, it's in gear on the emergency brake.
Okay.
So be prepared to dive in here and hit the brake. Before we let you go, I do want to make mention of the